Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Will's Mediumship and Numerology channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. Okay, so as sadly as it is for me to announce, I'm sure many of you have heard that Jerry Springer has passed. Okay, so what I like to do in this session is to channel him through to see what messages that he might have to share with not only his family but to the world at large. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit. And be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings of this nature. Okay? So, with that said, I've decided to use a variety of tools in order to channel Mr. Springer. Okay, I'm going to be using my Gilded Tarot. Okay, and I'm only going to be using one card here just to represent Mr. Springer. And I'm going to be channeling or asking him questions and provide you with the messages that I receive. Okay, in addition to that, I will be using my dominoes here to also get some insight on his true attributes. Okay, so prior to getting into this reading, I like to just get myself a bit more focused into what we are about to do here. So I'm going to start off by just saying a prayer or to just get get in tune with Mr. Springer and what he has to say. So dear God, dear Holy Spirit, dear deceased relatives, dear Archangel Michael, and all of my angels, I ask that you watch over this experience, making certain that only the messages of God will come through. Please protect Mr. Springer and myself from lower energies. Please help me release my ego fears so that I can clearly see, clearly hear, clearly feel, and know the messages that Mr. Springer wants to share with us. I ask that only the highest of messages come through during this discussion. Okay? So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go on and just get started here. And we're going to start off by just pulling, I'm going to pull three dominoes here. And of course, Mr. Springer here is going to help me pull the correct three towels here to just give you some indication of his true attributes here. Okay, I'm going to select three. All right, let's go on and select this. Let's see which three here. Okay, he's telling me this one. Okay, I'm going to also pull this towel. And let's see one more. Okay. So let's put these aside, ladies and gentlemen. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this reading, remember to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit. And be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings, okay? So let's go on and just look at the tiles here and see what numbers that we have. Okay, let's start off the first. We have 6, 7, 8, okay? So let's start off by just looking at these numbers individually here. We have 6. So to some, Mr. Springer was a very handsome guy, okay? He was gentle, and I'm getting that he was very refined, okay? He's telling me that he was a very, very social person, a very excellent, ladies and gentlemen, diplomat. And then we have the number 2. Mr. Springer was a very, very sensitive person, emotional, okay? And he certainly valued his treasures that he stored in his home that I'm getting. Okay? So let's go on and just add these two up here. That equals 8. So it shows that at times he was a bit cold and pessimistic, but he certainly was very hardworking, ladies and gentlemen, as we've seen. And he was also good with his finances. Okay? Let's go on and just pull another tile here and see what we have here. We have the blank too. Okay? So we have this blank here. So it was almost as if he was adventurous. He was a risk taker, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't afraid of any boundaries. He was very fearless. Okay? And we know that we've already uh, shared with you what the number 2 is. So let's go and just flip over another tile here and see what other information we can glean. We have a double 1 here. So he was certainly a driving force. He was a leader. He was a pioneering spirit. Okay? However, he tended towards impatience. Okay? Now let's go on and just add all of these numbers up and see what we come up with and see if we derive another number that we haven't discussed. So we have 6, 8, 10, 12. So 1 plus 2, that equates to 3. So it certainly shows that even though he had some interest in the spiritual, it seems like he was more interested in an acquisition of money, or perhaps even, ladies and gentlemen, the lack thereof. Okay? So now, what I like to do is to pull a card here from my gilded tarot deck here that I feel that best represents him. And you know, the card that seems to be coming to mind to me is the star card, because I feel that he was a star in his own right. Okay, so I'm going to go on and just see if I can find this card quickly here. And then we're going to just ask him a few questions here and see whether there are things that he might want to share with his family. You know, because I'm sure this death was, it seemed to me that perhaps may have come about kind of abruptly here. Okay, let's see here. Let's find the star. And ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind that if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings. Okay, so where is this star? Oh, here it is. All right, so I'm going to go on and just put that up. Actually, he kind of gave me this card. He told me to kind of, he feels like a star. I'm kind of getting, you know. So let's go on and get started and asking him questions. So immediately when I pulled that card, ladies and gentlemen, he strongly gave me the impression, however, that he seems to be caught up in limbo, even though he's happy, but he's still caught up in some sense. So it's conflicting. I'm getting conflicting type messages here. But he certainly tells me that, he feels his life was taken sooner than expected here, I'm getting. Okay? He feels, ladies and gentlemen, that his entire life, he really strived to dedicate to himself to his passion. And he saying that he was certainly true to himself. So I'm glad I did select this star. Okay? Despite what people may have thought about him. Okay? He's telling me that he's taking me back to these dominoes. He's telling me that the dominoes are suggesting that he wasn't that spiritual, but he says in his own right he was. So he's correcting me on that. But he was a person who, ladies and gentlemen, who often marched to the beat of his own drummer, if you will. Okay? This man, seriously, I'm kind of feeling that he felt caught between his past and his present. And people didn't quite understand his actions at times. And I feel that even though we see him as a very extroverted type personality, Mr. Springer really liked his alone time. He valued his alone time because it gave him a time to to think you know, to reflect, to have that introspective type, to take a introspective type glimpse into things that may have been pestering him. Okay. So, Mr. Springer, okay, tell me a bit more about the true you or the authentic you. Okay. He certainly, ladies and gentlemen, was an activist in his own right here. He constantly fought for the disenfranchised, and he strived, ladies and gentlemen, to make this world a better place. This is really, he was a very remarkable man I'm seeing here. He's giving me that impression here. He says that he had hope and faith that the world would get better here. Okay. He hated injustices of all sorts. I'm getting. He was an earth angel, clearly, always offering both emotional as well as spiritual support. As you can see from his talk shows, even though they got quite a bit violent, ladies and gentlemen, look at those messages that he shared with the world at the end. They were very, very, very good messages. Okay? Very good messages. Okay? So, Mr. Springer, how did you die? Or give us some knowledge about the issues that may have been surrounding your death here. Okay? He's given me the impression, ladies and gentlemen, that he faced a lot of stress. And during his last days, it seems he seems to have constantly fought with an inability to kind of sleep here that I'm getting. Okay? I'm also getting an indication too. He's showing me something connected with his childhood, like maybe perhaps a childhood injury seems to have um, that he experienced when he was younger. Of course, it seems that the injuries, the injury, it something exacerbated. I'm kind of getting and contributed. I feel that depression also might have been a factor as well. It seems like I'm getting that family and old friends were also near him during this time. It seems to be I'm seeing he's showing me like a mental disorder, that he had mental difficulties as well. And I'm seeing he's showing me all of these different medications that he had to take. It seems like maybe he took too many, he was taking extremely too many medications. Okay. And while telling me these things, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming through so playful. He's such a playful type person. And I do feel too that he's had a myriad of surgeries too, and that could have also contributed somehow too that I'm getting. So, Mr. Springer, let's move right on along to our next question. As you know, I'm sure, many spirits tend to communicate with us through our dreams, in various other ways. How will you make your presence known, particularly to your family? Okay. He's certainly given me a strong indication that he visit loved ones. He will be visiting his loved ones because he wants to continue on encouraging them to continue to better themselves. And he said because that was something that he constantly did while he was alive. And he says that although he was very opinionated to others, very strongly opinionated, he's saying, he had their best interests at heart here. Okay. And he said people were often put off by his impatience and harsh nature. Okay. Because he's showing me that it looks like he was very sometimes insensitive and overbearing at times too. And I feel that is a lot because he was very fatigued and overworked. I feel that he was very fearless and very confident. And he not only wants his family, but he wants us all to use more logic when making life changing decisions here. Okay, this is strongly something that he's suggesting. Mr. Springer, let's go on to our next question. Why have you come to communicate? Okay, despite the fact that, of course, I've kind of invited you here. All right. So he's saying that in life, because he often neglected his own emotional needs, he wants to offer others sound advice and to nurture their needs and to really help them manage money better, because he certainly keeps saying that he was a good um, like money type manager, that he managed money very well. Okay. Next question, Mr. Springer, can I offer you any assistance in moving on here? Okay. He's given me a strong impression, ladies and gentlemen, that he certainly doesn't need any assistance when it comes to moving on, because he's saying that he goes back and forth. I'm kind of getting, and I'm kind of getting a strong indication too, ladies and gentlemen, that he says that he's here to bring about clarity and to kind of let us all know that there is certainly strength in adversity, and that something good always tend to emerge from what we see as misfortunes here in this world here. And he's saying that he certainly wants to let everybody know that death is certainly inevitable. Okay? You can't escape it. However, you must have the willpower to continue, particularly if you lose a loved one. He's strongly saying that here. Okay? He's also given me too a very strong indication too here, ladies and gentlemen, that he's still hurting somewhere. I'm feeling too that his problem, cause of death too, could have been connected with, it seems like it might have been heart disease or some type of coronary health imbalance or something connected with his blood pressure, I'm getting. Okay? And he's telling me that while living, he was in a lot of pain and he was feeling a lot of agony. Okay? And he's kind of giving me a painful feeling that he knows that his death, now that he's died, I'm getting, it has left a lot of unanswered questions, which seems to be causing or is going to be causing some pain to his family, that he's saying. And he's saying that his heart aches, because he's saying that he's showing me that perhaps there was a lot of misunderstanding and conflict that may have transpired prior to his death, or it could might be happening now here. Of course, that's something that the family will have to confirm. All right. So let me go on, and then that concludes my discussion in terms of those questions there. So I'm going to go on and just take out another oracle deck here, and I'm going to have Mr. Springer guide me to 5 closing messages here to share with his family, as well as, once again, to the world at large here. So, Mr. Springer, I ask that you guide me to the appropriate 5 cards here that you'd like to share with your family. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button, okay? So let's see what we have in terms of messages. All right. Oh, okay, that's what it is. It seems that perhaps someone in his family is feeling guilty. Maybe someone wasn't there and wanted to be there when he died here. Okay, and this seems to be a message directly to his family. And the message is, you have nothing to feel guilty about. Okay? And he wants his family to know that certainly we will be together again. Okay? Next message. He says that now he's returned to become one of your guides' family here. Okay? Next message. He's certainly saying that he's learning over here as he continued to do. One of his goals while he was living, ladies and gentlemen, was to continue to improve himself. And so isn't that remarkable that he's continuing on that with that process into afterlife. And last message today, ladies and gentlemen, he's saying it is beautiful where he is. Wow. Okay, so this is something that we certainly can look forward to seeing ourselves one day. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this completes my reading here. Again, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button. Should anyone wishes to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly access my website to schedule your reading there, or you can send an email. Thanks a lot for viewing and enjoy your day.